This is Bishop Walsh. Thank you for checking in. It is Wednesday, June 22nd. I am back here at the residence in Gaylord, and I had a wonderful opportunity last week to be in San Diego, to be with the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, my first attendance at that meeting, and was happy to have nice conversations with so many bishops, probably 30 or 40 of them, and just on a very casual basis, finding out what the church is like all around the country and different dioceses, and a chance to speak with Bishop Hebda and Bishop Reka and Bishop Hurley, my three immediate predecessors here in Gaylord, and so many other bishops from around the country. We had a chance to celebrate Mass down near the border. We had an outdoor Catholic church that overlooked the city of Tijuana, and I had the opportunity to lead morning prayer. So I was there in front of cardinals and archbishops and bishops presiding at morning prayer, and very humbled to think of that experience of leading brother bishops in prayer. So it helped me in many ways to just feel that sense of fraternity and communion that Archbishop Fisher, who was our main speaker for the conference, was elaborating on. He was helping us to appreciate that gift of each other's presence, not only as bishops, but as Christians, as fellow travelers and disciples of the Lord. So we're very grateful for that opportunity to have been away. Happy to be back here now after all of the busyness of the spring and early summer season with confirmations, graduations, and school visitations. Enjoying the beauty of a northern Michigan summer. A few other things just to touch base on. We know that there's going to likely be a decision of the Supreme Court coming up, the Dobbs versus Jackson case. And regardless of the outcome, although we do hope for an outcome that would be very pro-life and continue to help us build a culture of life, but we know there's vitriol on the different sides when it comes to the issue of abortion. All we can do is continue to know that the Lord and the teaching of the church is the solid foundation upon which we stand, and know that it is ultimately for the good of all to have that in our heart, to defend life from the first moment of conception until natural death. It's an ongoing struggle, and whether it's done at the level of a Supreme Court decision or at the state's level, which I think is where it ought to be and continue to be, to change the hearts and minds of people to come to that reality of what science proves and what we know in our heart to be true, that it is a child that is in the womb and deserves every legal right and protection that we do outside of the womb until the time the Lord calls us back. And yes, there are sacrifices and struggles along the way of that, but that's part of our discipleship, to love one another even when it is sacrificial. So to build that culture of life, it's about taking responsibility. We know the 4th of July weekend is coming up. We often reflect on what freedom means to us in our country of the United States. And it's not a freedom from, it is a freedom for. The freedom for choosing what is the truth and abiding by it. And so whether it is these cultural issues that seem to bear on us, where we've lost a sense of our moral compass. It's with drugs, the legalization of drugs, and gambling, euthanasia. I was talking to a bishop out west where euthanasia is legalized, or with the abortion issue. It's about freedom for choosing the good. That's why God gave us the gift of freedom. And we need to be able to have that enshrined in our Constitution, yes, at the secular level. But we also need to have that all the more reinforced by the teaching of the Catholic Church, which really helps us to have that more solid sense of what freedom is. So we pray that we continue to follow the ways of freedom. Just a quick recognition of, at this time of year, so many of our priests celebrating an anniversary of their ordination, and so many married couples celebrating anniversaries of their nuptials. So we congratulate all and continue to ask God's grace for us to live out our sacraments that we have chosen and have received, that God will sustain us in them, holy orders and holy matrimony. And one last thank you for all those who are continuing efforts to help us with our Catholic Services appeal. I know a lot of efforts go into it. I've been into many churches where you have the banners up and you have the thermometers of how successful you're being in collecting the funds for our annual appeal. So thank you for all of those efforts. And I've been continuing to write out thank you notes, thank you letters to all those who have contributed. And each one of them, I'm grateful and thanking God and asking God's blessing for you for what you've done to contribute to the good of the church in the Diocese of Gaylord. Good luck with all the fundraisers of our parish. I was at a local chicken barbecue in Hannah recently. It was delicious and a nice gathering of the community. And one last thing, I had my first Michigan golf experience at Michaywé with the Knights of Columbus in Lewiston, in that parish there with Father Al Pillarelli. Wonderful, beautiful golf here in Michigan, although I'm going to keep my day job. Okay, take care and God bless. Thanks for checking in.